So I served in the Air Force for 3 years before I got medically discharged. And it was the best 2 years of my life and then the most excruciating 1 year of my life. I was diagnosed at the second year with schizophrenia disorder, and I was out processing medically for a medical discharge, being rendered medically disabled for the next 9 months. Um, they diagnosed me with schizophrenia disorder. They tried to reduce it to schizoaffective disorder, which is effectively a lesser temporary form of that. It proceeded to get so intense that they had no other choice but to render it to the higher degree of schizophrenia again. Um, but what's important here that I'm trying to convey is that the schizophrenia was so intense and so within their sights that I was likely developing bipolar disorder as well, and they never managed to diagnose it. And to the best of my ability, I have to describe bipolar disorder as the capacity to intellect and the capacity to reason and the capacity to absorb meaning from any source, or there it is, the capacity to embody meaning being expanded and constricted so violently that the person fluctuates between a total sincere joy and empowerment from the spiritual realization, and that's mania and that's psychosis, and then the intellect becoming so overheated from everything becoming deeply symbolic and meaningful that it effectively has to shut down and throw out meaning completely and constrict itself to the point of depression, to the point that the individual can see no meaning within anything and thus becomes severely depressed. So if you ask me, I'm spiritual first and then I'm intellectual second. If you read scriptures from the three major religions over the past 5,000 years, I'm talking about Christianity, I'm talking about Buddhism, I'm talking about Hinduism. What they will say before we even had the word bipolar disorder or schizophrenia is that evil spirits would attack particular people. Um, I didn't understand that until I understood that there was such a thing as higher intelligence and that the intellect could be expanded by a higher intelligence. But I wouldn't wish bipolar disorder upon anyone.